Welcome back to Tokyo the Ghouls. I am of course Kaiser Rohal, and this is another Tokyo Ghoul video because I was a bit unhappy about the previous one. My finale video. While I like the read-through, I think I messed up by not giving a bit more thoughts about what I think about the manga. So here's another little video, just final thoughts, a final review of the manga in general. So if you haven't watched my read-through and just, well, found it in a search or something, this is only about the first Tokyo Ghoul manga. I haven't read Tokyo Ghoul Re yet, and I haven't watched the anime, so yeah, nothing about either of those. So what do I think about it? First, let me talk about the art style, because that's what I can say the least about. I'm no artist and I don't really have a good eye for art, but I think it worked very, very well. Especially the black and white art style, usually more of a limitation of the genre, as most mangas are, well, almost entirely in black and white, worked perfectly for Tokyo Ghoul. In an alternate universe where most mangas are completely colored, Tokyo Ghoul would still be perfectly well in black and white. And yeah, it does a fantastic job with it. That's all I'm going to say about the art. As I said, I'm no artist. Also, excuse me when this is utterly scatterbrained. I don't cut, I don't edit, I don't script. That's just how I do things. So, what is Tokyo Ghoul even about? Is it about, well, the struggle of eternal hunger and having to deal with, well, the inhumanity of the whole situation? Is it about, well, badass battles between superpowered ghouls and armed and trained investigators? Is it about ghoul society and their peculiarities? Let's call it that. Or is it about, well, bloody horror, torture, and pain and misery? Well, given that I had pictures for all of these, the answer is, of course, yes. Yes, all of the above. But we can at least all agree that this is about the story of Ken Kaneki, right? Right? I would like to propose a little thought experiment for that. And please, if you have any thoughts about that, answer in the description if you like. Not description. Nice start, Rohan. Answer in the comments if you like. What would have happened if Ken Kaneki just died in chapter 1? The experiments of our good doctor didn't work yet, and Ken just dies. The end of his story. What would have happened about the story? Think about it for a minute. I will just speak quiet for a while. I think that's enough time. Not that much, actually. Not that much would change. Not in the greater story. Like, sure, some people would die, others would live. Like Toka and Hinami would probably be dead, killed by Kurayamado, since Ken would not stop Amon from interfering. Some people would still be imprisoned or, well, enslaved by our Tree, the Banjo and his crew, first and foremost. Or excuse me, I mean, of course, Banjua. Some ghouls would live that he just killed and cannibalized off screen. And of course, the story between Ken Kaneki and his pretty much mirror opposite Kotaro Amon would be a little bit different. But in the end, in the bigger scheme of things, he was no big hero. He didn't save the world. He didn't do all that much. It's just that a lot of shit happened to him, and he had to try to learn how to deal with it, how to come to terms with the fact that he cannot save everybody. He had to come to terms with his own helplessness, with his own dark urges and rising madness, and how to deal with all of it. But this isn't a big and unique story. Every character in this manga went through similar things. Not as horrible as can, like, holy hell, let me just go back to uh, where did I put it? This again, like, uh, yeah, of course, horrible things happened to Ken Kaneki, and we experienced his pain first and foremost. He was our main viewpoint character. But what I'm trying to say is that every single character in this manga was just as valid as a character as Ken was. Everybody had a role to play. Everybody was a little puzzle piece, and they all interacted with each other. They all influenced each other's lives. We didn't just have Ken's relationship with Toko and Hinami, and then with Banjo and his crew, and of course the relationship between Ken and Mr. Yoshimura. We also had the relationship between Amon and Akira. We had the relationships between Shinohara and Juzo. Even the even Seido and his, well, complexes. Let's call it that. His inferiority complex. A lot of people got a lot of characterization, even little things like Kuriyamado and his struggles as a single dad. Little things like that. Or not so little things like Juzo's entire backstory. That I did multiple 180s. Like, I think I did a 1080 in the end about Juzo and his character, and everything he went through. What I'm trying to say is Ken isn't unique in this story. He isn't meant to be. This is about a bigger picture than just Ken Kaneki being a punching bag for horrible things happening to him. In fact, that he wasn't in the end a main character in a traditional sense, and that he did not in fact have a plot armor or some great destiny to fulfill. It probably was his undoing. He tried to be a big damn hero, and so did plenty of other people. So did Amon, so did Shinohara, so did Juzo in his own way. And I have one final picture I looked up. I think this is the most telling picture that tells us everything we need to know about Tokyo Ghoul. All these people, these are the people we know most about. We know this background of Juzo. We had little glimpses of Kuroiwa and especially Shinohara and his relationship to Juzo. We had Amon's budding relationship with Akira. We had Seido and his desperate attempt to be a good investigator. We had Hide's little attempts to uh, reconnect with Ken and find out what even happened. Very ironically, the most powerful people, the big badasses, the big bads in some way of the story are the ones we know the least about. We know very little about Arima. We got little glimpses of characterization, mostly about how freaking badass he is. And of course, on the Ghoul side, we had Etor, whose whose identity we only found out in the last chapters. The people who were arguably most important to the whole to the big picture story are the people we know the least about. We even got to reveal that the Clown Ghoul gang was meddling with things behind the scenes. that was just funny as shit. And did it save them that we get to know so much about all these characters? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And this is, of course, only the investigator side. It's looking even worse on the Ghoul side, arguably. First and foremost, of course, Ken Kaneki and his rather abrupt and a very unheroic death at the hand of Arima. I I really was not expecting that. Turns out, I guess, when nobody is special and everybody is a little bit of a main character and everybody gets a little bit of characterization, well, nobody gets any plot armor at all. This really isn't a nice manga, not at all. This is a manga that punches you in the face, and the only acceptable answer you're allowed to give is, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" I guess there are some people who got sort of a happy end. Like, I am very happy that Toka escaped it all, and good for Yomo that he did too. I don't know if this is really a happy end for Rize, but at least she is also well out of the picture, I guess. A little bit of hope sprinkled in for among all the despair and death in the end. So I have nothing else to say, but well, thank you, so Ishida. May I have another? Until next time.